Hello and welcome to our very first Mean Well Tech Spark. Today we'll be going over the VFD series. I'm your host, David, and with me today to talk more about the VFD, I have our field applications engineer, Harlan. Thank you for coming.
Hi, David. Thank you for inviting me. Hello, everyone.
And as well with us on the sidelines, we have our team helping us manage the comment section. So feel free to drop any questions you have in there, and then we'll do our best to answer those during our discussion. So when the VFD was first announced and released in October, Harlan, what I did is, all of my instincts go to the Meanwell website, followed the product virtual hall, the virtual product hall, and I looked at that one article by Alex Stein, and it was a good summary of what the VFD can do, but I wanted a deeper dive on it. So that's why I have you here. And to help us explain, I see that we have a demo kit, ready to look at later on. And starting from the top, I wanted to first ask you, can you tell us what the VFD stands for and what is it meant to do?
Oh, certainly. VFD stands for Variable Frequency Drive. It is actually a AC model drive that changes the model's the speed, control, directions, start, stop, and so on operations by varying its input voltage and the frequency. So it's not like a traditional DC motor, which adjust the speed or do the start and stop operations by changing the input voltage only. So it usually require a controller to do the operations of the motor. Then so the VFD usually takes the AC input, single phase, then output a three-phase output.
Okay, got it. So for the BLDC motors, it requires a three-phase AC input, is that correct?
It needs a single phase AC input.
Okay, got it. And I believe the VFD is Meanwell's first AC to AC power supply unit that can run the BLDC. Is that right?
That's true.
Got it. Okay. Given that BLDC motors seem pretty niche to me, Harlan, can you also help me explain why Meanwell is spending so much time in R&D to develop the series?
Oh, sure. So the motorized applications contributes about 46% worldwide to the electricity consumptions by appliance. And as the BLDC motors has the advantage of a long lifespan, high efficiency, and also have the control functions. We expect the share will increase in the near future.
Mhm.
And meanwhile, as one of the leader of a standard power supply manufacturers, we always look for the solutions, the power solutions to the end customer, and then to support their power need.
Got it. So it's surprising to hear that, according to the IEA, nearly half of electrical appliances, are now motors. And lighting is only, 20% roughly. So that makes sense that, the share of electric motors or the share of electric appliances is increasing with the motors because of its efficiency.
Yeah.
Got it. And then there's any other reasons why?
Oh, yeah, David. So on the other hand, starting from 2011, more country worldwide, such as the USA, Canada, China, or Korea, start to comply the higher energy efficiency level. So they have to meet the IE3 efficiency level or instead of in IE2 level plus variable speed drive. So that term is based in the customer side or end user side. But in engineering side, we still use the variable frequency drive. That's what we're talking about.
That makes sense. So given how efficient the BLDC motors is, that's why the countries around the world are slowly increasing their their efficiency standards, from standard, high efficiency, even, more premium efficiencies. So MEAN WELL is following that trend that they're seeing, from their research, right? In addition to all of the increased appliances that are using these types of motors. Okay, so I believe I understand a bit more about the why. Let's talk about what these VFDs are about. I believe we have 8 models in total. Harlan, can you help us break down what those 8 models, how they differ?
Yeah. MEAN WELL currently provides two main categories of VFD power supply. So the first one is a DC input type, which use the DC input as such as a battery. So another category is the AC input types. That's the AC single phase input, and which is divided into two actually subcategories. So it has a PCB type and an enclosure type. So for the AC input type, it has PFC function to increase the efficiency, but on the other hand, so the DC input types provide conveniences to the customer or to the application to have more visibility.
Okay. And I believe you also have some examples here with us at the table. So to kind of like you repeat or to explain what you said before, right? We have the DC inputs that are open frame. And I believe this is typically seen, with batteries, right? And then the other 5 units are for the AC input. And there are half of those that are enclosed as well. So that's a good way to remember it. And then, if you wanted to see another breakdown of how the VFD series, compare and differ on our virtual product hall in the automation section for VFD, you can see that we have a little table that has these specs turned down for you. And also has something such as the form factors for each of the units, given, in the portable setting, right, with like a wireless appliance. That's something that would be a good quick reference to look at.
David, that reminds me, so our DC input types has a 4 inches by 2 inches form factor, which is considered as the mutual size for the some cordless or remote application.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so thank you for that breakdown. Can you tell me about the advantages of these MEAN WELL VFD series?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, the VFD power supply is to power the BLDC motor, and then so it integrates the AC to DC, and then with the AC DC to AC 2-stage into one unit to provide the convenience actually, and it also has a 200 peak power functions for the BLDC motor when they cold started, so when those applications start and then so it draw a higher current, then furthermore, so our VFD power supply also includes multiple functions. So it includes the thermal sensor and DC bus voltage sensor, current sensors to provide the corresponding detections and the protection. So MEAN WELL's VFD power supply are pretty reliable. And on the other hand, so MEAN WELL's is to discover the more potentials in the BLDC motors market, and so we will provide a full solutions to the customers, so which including the hardware such as the VFD power supply and the control board. Then we also help customer evaluate the BLDC motor, the applications to save their research and develop time for the motor control. Then the customer don't need to source the power supply from one side and then source the controller to on the other side to build a system. So we provide a full solution.
That sounds good. So
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, Harlan, to summarize, so the first good takeaway is it's reliable, given that it's able to protect itself as its power supply and the appliance for features such as, you know, the 200% peak power endurance, you know, from a cold start. And in addition to that, it's also cost and time effective for the customers, given that the engineering team will help reduce time with R&D, with the motor controls, as we provide that as a service. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, wow, very excited about all these great features. I think it's time for us to see it in action. Do you mind if we head over to the demo station, Harlan?
Let's go for it.
Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so I believe that we plug in the VFD in here somewhere, right? It'll be crazy if this kit came with the VFD. Do you know how to hook it up?
So the VFD power supply is already assembled into the
How
demo
about that?
kit. And then so is for the safety concern at the customer side, we use casing to cover it, and then so the customer will not mistakenly touch somewhere that cause some hazards.
Got it, got it. What a great deal. It
Mhm.
comes with the VFD already. And I see that we have some familiar parts here. I believe I saw these in the MEAN WELL peripheral accessories catalog. Am I mistaken? Are these the same buttons?
So this this bottom indicator or other accessories such as the block terminals and some others dim rails accessory are available at MEAN WELL. So we also provide this hardware and to integrate the system. I mean, the VFD solutions for the customer if for their needs. So it will save their time and the energy to source all the components all around.
Got it. Okay. And this is like the motor. So do you mind if we go ahead and start it up?
Okay,
Is that
let's
okay?
do it.
Okay, so I see the power on here. We have these LED indicators, the red one and the yellow one are lit. And let me see here. And then to run it is this control button, is that right? And this is the changing the direction?
Yeah, so this is the start and stop button, and then this is the directions switch when you clockwise or counterclockwise, and then it adjusts the directions of the motor.
Got it, got it. Okay, it looks pretty self-explanatory. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it ready, and then this has 0 to 100. And let's do it 50%. Let's go halfway here. Okay, it's spinning. This is the RPM reader. And I believe the maximum here will go all the way to 3,000, is that correct?
Yeah, so that's true. When you turn it to all 100% and in speeding is speeding in 3,000 round per meter because due to the mass speed of the motor. So in order to provide this VFD service to the customer, we will require the motor's parameter and to design or write a software or the firmware to the control board.
Okay,
And
this
then
is the
so-
control board here,
Yeah,
right?
this is the control board.
Got it.
And then so well, the one important point is, David, so our control board is 1-to-1, so like one control board to one motor.
Yes.
So if the customer want to swap to change to another motor, so we will require the new model's parameter
Got it.
specification to do the design.
Okay, that makes sense, because I see that the control board is easy to access, so we can swap it out, and there's also the option for an external motor. Another thing I wanted to check out, because when I, look at a demo kit, I always want to test the durability of it, right? So if I, change the direction right now of the motor, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's check it out here. Okay, it's slowing down. And look at that. Wow, very robust. So I can change it back and forth, no problem, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Thanks to the technology of the BLDC motor, and so as I say, it's not it's not a traditional DC motor. So you can simply adjust the directions by changing some kind of bottom or switch, and then so the motor will gradually decrease the speed, then to spin in another direction.
Got it, got it. Wow, this demo kit is very straightforward. I think I kind of get the hang of it now. And if anyone, watching wants to order an additional kit, for your team or to bring it out into the field, we have it available at our SDG store in the demo kit section, and just for 16,000 points. And again, it comes with the VFD as well. So I think that is not a bad deal. Alrighty, Harlan, I think I am good with the demo. Let's go ahead and power it off. And if you don't mind, let's go back to the table.
Yeah.
So during the demo, you let me know that, the BLDC motor inside of the demo kit is paired up with the control board. Can you tell us a bit how the control board and the VFD work together to run the BLDC motor?
Okay, yeah, sure. So it's pretty complicated over here because the VFD power supply is just a power supply. It
Okay.
takes the AC, the single phase, and outputs three-phase AC to the motor, to the application, but it does not interact with the motor. So then that's why it needs control board to interact with the motor to sense the right precision or the operations of the motor, then send the PWM signal to the VFD power supply.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the case where a customer has a BLDC in their application, all they need to do is let you know what the specifications are, or even better, mail it in to the TS team, and then you'll help do the heavy lifting and configure the control board to work with the specific parameters of these BLDC motors. Is that right?
That's correct. We are
Okay.
here to help.
Okay, awesome, awesome. That makes sense. So the VFD and the control board are separate units, and then you're able to help with the control board configuration. In addition to what we talked about earlier, I'm curious to know why the outputs of the VFD series is split up between 48 volts and 230. Can you tell us a bit about the reasoning behind that?
Okay, so starting from the example of the AC input types of VFD, so the typical applications are like the water pump or others glass so the glass door opener.
Yes.
So they basically install in a fixed location and AC power the application. So our VFD can be integrated into the enclosure of the applications, and then so the controller by on the other hand can be integrated. So with the VFD power supply or at the another locations, and then so we can we have up to 750 watt power to drive those applications. So on as to the DC input times VFD power supply. So what it, and then we consider the call it power tools or some other automatic guide vehicle that they has the battery to power the applications, and then so those BLDC motor in the system also requires VFD solutions. to drive those applications. So, and then MEAN WELL also develops the DC input types of VFD to drive those BLDC motor, and the control board can be also integrated into the system. And I think so given the miniatures, the miniature size of the DC input type, yeah, and then which is 4 inches by 2 inches. So
Yes.
the customer will have more visibility to design the application.
That makes sense. Okay, so based on the application, that's why we have, these two ranges of outputs. But even though they are at 48 and 230, we still have that flexibility given we have the control board helping us, adjust to a variety of BLDC motors. Got it. Okay. And so for to help the folks, watching, can you give us some example applications on how we can use both types of VFD that we have?
Okay, David, let's look at the DC input type, and then also, as I mentioned, thinking so considering the high efficiency and long lifespan of the BLDC motor. So more and more applications such as the warehouse robotics and haulage power tools are now designed with the BLDC motor, right? And also our VFD is suitable for those applications that adapts the a battery as the input source.
And then for the AC?
For the AC, then also the industrial fans, so finished equipment that adapts the AC input. So our VFD provides up to 750 watt power, can drive different classes BLDC motors such as the 48V classes, even 64V classes motor.
Okay, so when we are looking at these BLDC applications, we still want to see, hey, is it portable or is it something stationary, right?
Yes.
Okay, can we do a deeper dive on something stationary? What's an example that's we use every day, right? Because BLDC motors are very durable, given that they're brushless. What's an example of an AC application?
That's a very good question, David. So the glass door opener, as we use every day, then so the BLDC motor provides more energy than the DC motor. Then so there is assembled in a fixed location, right? So you don't change it daily.
That's
or in a short duration. So our VFD can drive those applications, and then so since the tradition opener has only the upward, downward, or stop bottom, and then in this case, the VFD and the BLDC motor can provide the speed adjustment to the application. So and then which provides more convenient to the customer.
Okay, excellent. And then can you also tell me another kind of, stationary example that you may see these BLDC motors? I believe pumps are commonly used with BLDC motors. Is that right?
That's true. So as I mentioned, the water pump is one of the typical VFD application. Then so the water pump right by the swimming pool can our VFD can drive those water pump. As you may know, that when the user want to clean the swimming pool, they have to draw the water from the pool and then backfill the water when they finish cleaning, right? So
bi-directional. That's
exactly. Right. So considering it requires a bi-directional, and then the VFD, our VFD can drive those applications. So. And then I believe as to the water pump system of the swimming pool, then it will require some accessory, some kind of bottom or control, right? So MEAN will also provide those accessories as you mentioned in the demo kit. So yes. Then to integrate the whole system to provide the full solutions to the customer. Then for more applications such as sand filter system. Our VFD can also drive those applications by integrating the VFD in the enclosures on top,
Yes.
and then so the large fish tank or the aquarium water pump can be also driven by our VFD.
Got it, got it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So these pumps, are typically seen, running 24/7 nearly, right? So to see that they're using these BLDCs that can be used by the VFD series, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I think we covered the AC input units. How about the smaller ones here are more portable applications? Do you have examples of those?
Yeah. So as the DC input types, the VFD power supply providing the convenient or visibility to allows the user to do the operations remotely or police. So the commercial backpack vacuum, right? That integrate with a battery will requires a power supply unit to drive the vacuum. So the VFD power supply is very suitable for this application. And then, so one more example is the air blower, and then so is a cordless, and so of course, besides the air blower, and then so other cordless power tool can be also driven by our VFD, and so the air blower that to blow the trash on the ground or the leaves, and then so you need a power supply to drive, and so think of the BLDC motor and the VFD integrate in those systems, and then so the application can last much longer than the traditional DC motor.
I see, I see. So that makes a lot of sense, given that we put a focus in the actual size of these smaller these VFD series. And then just to show our audience too, these are different powers, right? In terms, even though they're the same form factor, I believe they have different capabilities in terms of the power outage.
Right. So the DC input type have the same form as 4 inches by 2 inches, regardless of the power from 150 to 350. So as you may see, the one in your hand is a 350, and so the one on my hand is a 250.
Excellent. Alrighty, Harlan, thank you so much for all those application examples. Hopefully that is, inspiring everyone how to, look for these applications that work with the VFD series. I even did a quick check before the start of the text bar, and we have a lot of the VFD in stock. So feel free to place your orders now. We'll be more than happy to help and support you there. We just have some announcements for the upcoming show. And then for our current one, we have on the screen the MEAN WELL technical team. We have the brilliant Brian you can choose from, the knowledgeable Kareem, or the handsome Harlan. So feel free to reach out to them for any help. And for our next text bar, we have it scheduled on March 28th on the Thursday, like today, at 11 a.m., talking about the 3+N applications with Hong and Brian.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thank you everyone for attending, and have a nice day.
Okay, thank you everyone.